Welcome to this tutorial. The first thing I want to do is I want to change the theme. So you go under the page layout if you want to follow my theme, and after you can choose a different theme later on, but it'd be good if we could all be on the same theme to start with. It's a red-orange. Not the orange-red, the red-orange that I've chosen here, that I've selected. So once you select it, you also need to go under the styles. If you want to do, obviously, same as me, you right-click on the styles, you modify, and in the format part, you put a black in a field. For me, I just put on the second column, the bottom last. And then the font, you want a white font, otherwise it's not going to be a very, very interesting training if you cannot see what you write. So that's it. So I've done it here. Okay, so now we have that out of the way. Let's have an overview of what we'll be doing. We have 3 tabs. So if you want to follow along, obviously which is always recommended, you need to create 3 tabs. I've called mine Dashboard, Settings, and Work tab. So Dashboard is obviously where we will see the outcome of the tasks and the charts and the like. Settings, it's what will allow you or the user to change some stuff. And Work tab is will be more the tab what I will use to do all the calculations. So I don't put too much so I don't put too much mess on the other tabs. Okay, so I'm just going to start with the Settings tab. After I'll build the Work tab, and then we'll start working on the dashboard. I'm not going to do everything on the Work tab. I'm just going to set the scene. So Settings. Okay, so this is what we have done. We have changed the theme, we've done all that. So I want to have a bit of a list here with yes, no. So I've created a table, yes, no, and I'm just going to input yes in the first one, and so no in the second one. So that's what we'll use to validate a field when there is a yes, no option. Work weekend. So this is an option I want to give because I'm doing some calculation on date. So if it's for home, you might want to count weekends as a normal day, but if it's for work, you might just want to exclude it. So work weekend, so that will be a yes, no. So I could start with yes, well, it doesn't really matter. And units for estimate, so I'm just going to assume here that I work with days, but this is just to show you. You could have hours here, for instance. And then on the dashboard, I will show hours, but I'm just going to assume it's all days. And I'm just going to put a D, so this way that will be a bit less heavy. You'll understand why when we build the thing. So here, this is a resource list. So we'll have several resource list columns, but this is really the one where you want the users or yourself to input your resources. Actually, I'm just going to retrieve some. I'm just going to copy some here, so completely random ones. So this will be the resource list, and this is where we will check in our dashboard if the resource is a part of our list. So as usual, if you work on your own, if the task list is only for you, you just put yourself here. But you need something here. So this is it for the settings. Not a lot of settings, but we want to make it easy for everyone. So let's work on the Work tab. So this is where we'll be doing some calculations. The user doesn't need to see this. So first of all, if you could create a 3 rows, 3 columns, a small table here with unit char, display, and cell name. So this is where we'll be doing the symbols. And I have this in pale yellow. I have the cells that I will name. Task status, tasks if urgent. So this is where we'll be doing some calculations. So if you could have those 4 prepared, all tasks, not started, in progress, and completed. The workload, so the difference between the workload, which is the amount of in days, and the task status, which is the amount of tasks. So this will have here the total outstanding and days completed. If it doesn't make sense, it will make sense later on, but I just like to have everything ready. So Here the resource list will be retrieved. So how do we do that? A lot of complicated ways to do it, but for this scenario, I will just grab the first one here, and I will grab that down. As long as we have the same length, we should be okay. I have zeros here, so just as a rule, I like to remove the zeros. So I right-click on this, I put Format Cells, and I go under Number, Custom, and I just put hash here. It's gone. So this also, this is something that I want to do. I want to calculate the max estimate for one resource. Who has the more work? We'll be using this to calculate the dates. And then we will also retrieve the resource name here. So this is maybe a bit too theoretical at the moment because we don't have any data, but I like to have this set up in advance. This way that don't break the flow when we really get into charts and the likes. Okay, so the work tab is done, setting is done. Dashboard. This is the main screen. So this is, if you could create one, I don't know how many I have here, maybe I have around 20 something. You just choose an amount of tasks that you want, but as usual we'll be able to hide the ones that we don't want. So I'll do this towards the end. So first column, task name, then resource. Actually, I might just input some stuff into this way that would help you understand as I progress. Let's have a look. Just going to put something here. I'm just going to put that a little bit darker so you can actually see. Just put that dark, so hopefully that's enough. So task name, this is, it's obvious. Here I have some very complicated task names. A resource has to be validated. So the resource will need to go under data validation. You click on data validation if you don't know how to do this. List the resource, with the one from the settings, not the one from the work time, the one from the settings. You select all that. Don't worry about the whites. You need to select them. This way, if they add resources later on, they will still show. And the beauty of this is, even if you have 10,000 whites, it only shows you one. So this is quite good, I think. So this is done. Urgent, yes, no. So this is what I want to validate as well. Data validation. Here, list settings, and I'm just going to select those two here. So now I have all these. Yes, no. All this is validated now. Estimate, so once again, days, hours, months, years. I'm just putting, I just select the days, but it's not really obvious here yet. So this is how it would show. And this will be in percentage. So you need to put the percentage here and put it in center if you wish. And this is done. So this is obviously not the final coloring, but I just wanted to do the framework first, and after we can worry about all the coloring. Because if we do it now and then we change things, things could get a bit complicated, and we spend all our time fixing formatting instead of focusing on the key thing here. So I just do some basic formatting, talking of formatting. Okay. Now urgent. What do we want to put in urgent? Well, in urgent, I want to put some the symbol that I have here. The symbol that I have, in the work tab here. So here, if you don't know UniChart, I think if you want to bring back special symbols in your spreadsheet, you have two ways. You can either go under Insert, you go under Symbol here, and then you can, select different fonts. You have the Webdings and the likes, and that allows you to select some special symbols. But what I've been doing of late is, instead I've been using the UniChart system. The big advantage is you are staying with your same font. So I'm going to stay in Aptos Narrow here, and then I'm going to bring back the unitchar value, which is a symbol. So if you don't understand, I don't blame you, but I'm going to show you here. So here, for instance, the unitchar, you can go online and look for unitchar values, and I will give you a big array of things that you can do with this, and a big array of symbols that you can have. So for instance, here, if I do use the unitchar function for this symbol here, it's going to bring me back a square. You say, oh, that's not very exciting, but you can bring back some very interesting ones, and I'm going to demonstrate. So here I've just dragged that down. So 11036, it brings back this. And the one that I want is 10026. Once again, I went into the list of all the unitchar, and I retrieve this. So here I'm going to give them a cell name. So here I'm just going to call it square done, square not done, and this I'm going to call it star. So writing the cell name is one thing, but actually naming the field is better. So here I'm just going to position myself on here. If you don't know how to name, there's several ways, but in this video I will show you this way here. Just you go into the name box and you just repeat the name. Square down, press enter twice. Square not down, press enter twice, and star. So this way I know which, I can quickly see, if I want to use those cells, I can quickly see what the name is. So now I can go back on the dashboard, and what did I want to do? So what I wanted to do is I wanted to bring back the symbol if the task is urgent. Now, if I say if this, so I could either say hardcode the yes, or I could just be super proficient, just in case you want to do that into a different language. So if this is equal to the first setting here, yes, and I need to lock it, so press F4. So if it's urgent, more or less, that's what it means. What am I going to retrieve? I'm going to retrieve a star, and I'm just going to write star here, because he'll know that it's a cell that I named. And otherwise, what do I bring back? Nothing. So I just put double quotes, and it brings back blank. And here, it doesn't show me anything, because it's not urgent, but when you will find something urgent, you will put me this symbol here, and I'm just going to center it, and that's it. So I think it's a little bit more visual than yes, no, and this way you only see the urgent ones. I like it. I hope you like it. If you don't like this symbol, you can go under the unitchar thingy and just try to find a more appropriate symbol. Okay, done. What has been done? We multiply the estimate by the done percentage, and that gives you 0 here. Let's have a look. If we drag that down, does that give us something a little bit more? Okay, 100%, 25, 80%, 50%. Yeah, so that works. Once again, I'm going to give this custom value that I've created. It should give it me back here at the end. Remove the blanks. Left to do. Ooh, how do we do this? The estimate less what has been done. Okay, go here, drag it. It looks like it took the formatting already, so that's good. Left in percentage, so I am not sure if we are using this, but I'm just going to put 100% less what has been done. So left to do, 100%. I don't want those. I'm just going to center it, and I'm going to drag it down. Okay, so here I forgot to do something. I need to do a bit of a check. I need to check is because it brings me back 100%, so I need to make sure I only do this when there is a task. So if I do if the task, which is this, is not blank, I'm going to bring all that back. Otherwise, what do? I just put a blank. It's going to be with enough information already, so we don't want to add any unnecessary information. But when it's 0, I still want to show the 0% in this. Now the completion percentage, so this is where we want to do our fancy squares. Now in order to build this, there is a formula here that I've copied. The first thing I do is I check if the task is not blank, otherwise it's going to bring us rubbish when there is no task. And so if the task is not blank, what I do is I use the repeat function. Repeat function is an Excel function, if you don't know it, that allows you to, as the name implies, to repeat one character. But the way I use it, I hack it, and I use it to repeat the symbol that we have here. I will be replicating this squared on symbol as a show of percentage. And then I will be, for things that have been done, for the percentage that's been done, for the percentage that has not been done, I'll be using this instead to fill up to 100%. So here, what I'm doing is I'm using repeating the squared on, which is the cell that we have named just before. And let me just click on it. And I will be multiplying the done by 10. So this is because I want to work with percentage. So if you replicate that by 10, so 100% brings that down into 10 square. So I will be replicating this by the amount of that times 10, and the one that are not done left to be done by 10 as well. And I give you that formula here. You can pause it and have a look and digest it if you like. So this looks a bit too big, so what I'll do is I'll bring it back down to maybe, so all this is a font of 11, and this will be 7 or 8, maybe 8. Let's try with 8. Dragging it down. So it seems to be working. Now I can adjust the width. It will look much better on a darker. So don't leave yet. It will look much better on a darker background. So this is it. So this is the framework is ready. So now what I want to do, I said I will name some of the stuff. So I will make it much easier when we do some calculation. So I'm just gonna name this. I don't like using tables because I always come to a point in time when it reaches limitation. So I'm not gonna convert this to a table, but I'm going to name some of the columns. So this, for instance, I will just select all the columns and I will call it resource as promised. So those 4, I will be using the very name of the title. So here I will be calling this urgent. Press enter twice, so there was Excel thinks you want to go somewhere. Estimate, enter twice, and done, enter twice, done, enter twice. So here I'm going to call this done days, because we already have a done percentage. Or even if you don't use days, obviously you can call it this way. Nobody's going to check that up. So okay, so now I'd like to do some totals here. What I could do is, if I do a count A, that's going to tell me how many cells are not blank. I don't know if we'll be using this, but at least it's a visual. What have I done? Okay, so I need to put equal first. Let's go back to basics. Count A, select all this. So that's going to tell me there is 17. So people might wonder 17 of what? Well, okay, so you can put this symbol and then tasks, so people know what we are referring to. So 17 tasks. I really don't like this color, but when we do the formatting, so here 17 tasks, 17 resources, not really useful information. I could do a countif here to check how many urgent there is. Is that really useful? Countif this. Let's press this. The range is urgent, and yes, so it has to be equal. I don't want to put yes because it's multilingual, so just want to put the first one here. let's see, so that's 5 urgent tasks. Estimate, so that's easy, that's a straight sum of all the estimates. Now done, we cannot add all this. We need to come back to this one. Urgent, we don't need to add this. Done, this is what I can drag this. It's going to be the total here, left to do the total. Because you'd be very tempted to do an average of this, but that's not going to work because some tasks are longer than others. And here this is working as well. So here, I want to try and copy this and paste it here somehow, just the formula, because I don't want to mess up my beautiful formatting. And I go back to 9. Okay. So this is it. So we'll see what we keep, what we throw away, but at least as a visual here, I could even just go back here just to say this is 5, just to show this is the same. And so this is pretty good so far as numbers are concerned. Okay, so now I want to, before we go into the chart and presentation, I want to do some calculation here because we have the data now. Okay, so let's first have a look. Let's go down the list. Tasks. We want to know how many tasks there are. We've already done the work here. So, but the problem is, as I've put some text here, I'm going to have to do it again. I cannot just refer to that cell because it's not going to like it. So here I'm just going to put count A again of tasks here. We didn't name that column here. So I'm just going to have to do it manually. Okay, 17. Now, how many tasks are not started? So this is easy with the naming that we have. We don't even need to go back there. So we just need to, we have the done not started here. I want to know how many have a 0% here. So you need to make sure that it's 0. So let's have a look. Cantif, let's have a look. Done. 0. 2 not started. Let's verify. 2 not started. If I put this one as not started, it's going to put me 3, so that works. And as this is blank, so this needs to stay blank. Actually, I probably need to do a little bit of formatting here. Let me do it now. What I think about it. So what I want to show is I want to show that when there is a task entered, you need to input something here. I'm not going to force people to put an estimate, but I want to make sure that they put something in a done, because otherwise that's going to disrupt us. Okay. I'm going to select all this. I'm going to do a conditional formatting, and I'm going to put a new rule. And what I want to do is to use a formula. I'm going to say, if this field, and I'm going to remove the dollars by pressing F4. If there is something here, put an AND, because there's 2 conditions. If there is something here, and if this is blank, so the first one here, remove the dollars. There's something wrong here. I want them to put something here. So I'm not gonna make a big fuss. I'm just gonna be a bit of a subtle, like the and I'm just gonna put this here. So here it knows you have to put something at the very least here. Let's say it's a one-off task, something very quick, sign contract and the likes, that you don't want to put estimates on it, but you want to put it here. So you need to be able to show if it's done or not. Sign off contract. Okay, I want to know. So you start with 0, and then when it's completed, you put 100%. Okay, so I'm just going to remove it now. Okay, let's go back here. Apologies, but I thought might as well do it while I think about it. So now we have done one. Not started. A COUNTIF version is doing the job quite quickly. Now in progress, I want to leave that aside. I'll explain why. I'm just going to copy this one here. So here I want to do what? I want to do the same thing. I want to do done, but instead of 0, I put 1, which is 100%. Okay, so why did I want to leave this one? Because I want to use now a deduction. So the amount of tasks total, less what I started and less what is completed, that's going to give me the amount in progress. This is done. Now task urgent. So all tasks, that's easy as well. I tend to say this a lot, I suppose, is we could actually, I could just, instead of doing the calculation, I could go back here and just say, okay, task urgent, I will be here. So I know there's 5 urgent tasks. Let me format this a little bit. So now I need to do a COUNTIFs. So I need to be able to know if a task is urgent and not started. So let's do it. COUNTIFs, and you just, the first criteria range is going back here. I'm just going to say this should be equal to urgent colon should be equal to the first one here. Once again, multi-language. Oh. Okay, I'm just gonna, I need to put the criteria range here and the criteria here. So here I'm just gonna select back here, settings here. Now, what is the second criteria is that, where were we? Not started, so the done is equal to 0. I think it's much better when we, when we name those columns. Same as here, so I'm just going to copy it here. So urgent settings, I need to log this before I want to do this. So I'm going to log this. I'm just going to go here, put that here, and here I'm going to select 1. And here I'm going to deduct 1. So let's have a look. Not started, it counted 2. Not started and urgent. Urgent, left done 1, 2. Urgent and started 2. 2, 2. 0, left 0%. So that's okay. So let's try another one. Let's put this one as urgent and completed. Okay, that's 3. So that works. So far, so good. Now we're going into the workload. So this is the task themselves. And now we're talking about days. So I have days here, but it's depending on the unit. I'm not going to repeat that all the time. So the total estimate is it's easy. It's really the sum here, the sum of estimate, of the estimate column. And that's it. Now the other one is the days completed. So I know I have named this one done days. No, I've named it this one done days, right? So here it should be very easy and straightforward to calculate the done days, and then I can deduct the outstanding here. Let's be a bit lazy here. So sum done days. So a little bit of, I think a little bit of time spent at the beginning, make everything downstream very easy. And here I'm just gonna remove the 111 from, okay. There's one thing to say it, and when you write it, you have to write it differently. So it's a bit tricky. So that's it. So total, that's it. So urgent days. Now urgent days, what I need to do is I need to do a sum if. I need to do a sum if of the all total of the which I need to put after. So let me press this so it's a bit clearer for everyone, including me. So what is the first? We start with the criteria, and I always get caught with this. The sum range, we worry about it later. So the criteria first is we want urgent to be equal to settings, the first one here. Press F4 to locate this time. And the sum range will be the estimate. Voila. Okay, 52. Now I'm doing the same as I've done here. I'm using done days instead. Here, instead of summing the estimate, I sum the done days for the urgent ones. Okay. And here I'm doing the same. I'm just deducting this. 27.6. Okay. Center that. We're almost done. Okay, now the resource list. Okay, the resource list. Now, as I was saying before, if you have more resources, if you want to add more resources here, this is perfectly fine. Actually, in my final version, I will add more. Then here, but here you need to make sure that you drag that down and as you grow the list. Now here I would like to calculate the estimate. I'm just going to put some basic grids so you can see better. I want to calculate the estimate for each resource. I need to know who is on the critical path, who has the more work to do, and also I can show that on the chart. So estimate. So here it's a sum-if as well. I have named that one resource, this, so I can do this as a criteria. So here I'm just going to do a sum-if again. See, we don't need to use a lot of complicated functions on this. I don't think I'm using, here I might be using XLOOKUP, but just here I think, which is relatively recent, be the most recent one. So sum-if, the range for the criteria. So the range will be resource. The criteria will be that it will be equal to this. So when the criteria is just a plain equal, we don't need to put equal. We just put the cell. And what do I want to sum? I want to sum the estimate. So it's all good. It's all prepared, ready for us. We just have to do this. And we just have to drag that down. Okay. I'll see if I need to put that under 0 or not. So this is done. I think now done days, we know how it works. Resource done days. That doesn't seem right. Okay. Now, rookie's mistake. I needed to lock the colon here. And left to do, we do this, less that. Max estimate for one resource. This is what I wanted to check. Who has the max estimate here? But first, I want to retrieve the estimate because I think it will be very useful to calculate dates. So what is the max of all this? 57. So it's here. This is the max of all this. Now, we have today's date. Okay, so the function for today is today like this, and we have commas like that. So this is the Australian format with days, month. If that freaks you out, if you look that from the States or whatever, I can change this so everybody can relax. Custom, I'm just going to put DDD. I want to put the, I suppose, I don't like it because it doesn't make sense. Okay, so that's the way. Okay, so that's today's date. So yeah, so I wanted to put it in formula, but it might be clearer if I put it here today. So I put today here. So how do we calculate the completion date of this project here? So it's not the longest estimate. It's more who has the most work to do, and then we can change that. Maybe reallocate some tasks and try to bring that number down. Now we have to remember that we have the settings that if work on weekend. So let's say if it works on weekend, that's easier, because what we do is we know that Betty Boop here has the most work, the biggest workload. But actually this is wrong. I think I need to calculate the left to do instead. Yes, the left to do, because that's in a past estimate. So I just retrieve who has the most on its job. So here there will be John McDough, I think. Yes, he's the highest one here. So if we are in a scenario that if work on weekends, if we don't on weekends, we just add this amount of days to today. And if we don't work on weekend, we have to use another Excel function, which is the workday function, workday. And then we put the first date, the start date is this, and the amount of days to add is 36.8. Okay, and I apply the format. So if you don't work on weekend, it will take you longer to finish the job. What I wanted to do is to retrieve the resource name. So this is where I'm doing a lookup, I suppose. X lookup. So what do I do? What do I do? I'm looking for this value here. Who's got a 36.8 into this column here? And what do I want to retrieve? I want to retrieve this. It's too easy with X lookup. That's it, John McDough here. I'm just going to put that a bit shaded, so we all know that it's not. Hang on. Okay. So we all know that it's something that we'll be using in a dashboard. So all those numbers will show somehow in a dashboard. Or even today, maybe I should have had today as well. So this is it for that. And now we can focus on the dashboard itself. And we will see that now. Okay, now it's time to work on our chart, or at least on our visual cues. First visual cues, I'm bringing 3 cells pretty close to each other, and I'm creating 3 squares here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm just going to put a gray here to start with. This is not actually gray, which is a bit of a greenish. Interesting. Now, okay, so here I'm just going to put completion. So I'm going to do a lot of merging here. So merge this, and those 3 cells, and I put completion. And I'm going to merge maybe this one too. Merge. And here I'm just going to merge those 3. I mean, we don't need to merge. We can just format, but I just want to merge at the moment. It's a bit easier. So critical resource here. That looks terrible. I know, I don't need to be reminded, but that will be changed soon. So we just merge all this. And here I'm just going to start retrieving stuff from the work tab. Critical resource, which one is it? This one. Take that cell here. Completion. Completion. Yes, so here now I need to choose one of those 2. So if the work on weekend is equal to yes, is equal to the first one here, yes, we're going to take the work on weekend, this one, otherwise we will take the other one. We always check if it works. So here I'm just going to see if this fits in this format here. Format painter. That's it, it makes it much faster without messing things up. Okay, so this is good. Let me just at least provide a bit of visual clue here. Then I want to leave 2 cells and I want to recreate this. Let me check if I can just do this brutally as well. We want to finish this. Okay, and press 2, left 2, and this. Okay, so now what do we want? We want the outstanding days. So here I think what I could do is, if I just take the number of outstanding days from the work tab here, estimate where my outstanding days here. So this is this one, right? If I take this, and this is gonna bring back here, so obviously now it's got the wrong. So I will want to add something after. So if I just put days like this, no, this is where I need to go back here. Sorry, I need to go back to my settings and just bring that back here. So 99 days. So if you want to add a blank in between, you can. You just add a blank here in between. Okay, so this is a bit small, so I'm just going to have to bring it back up to 16. But without impacting the cells here. Okay, qu'est-ce qui se passe? Okay, what a mess. All right, okay. Now this I wanted to go back in line. So this is where we merge it because we don't want to impact the integrity of this table here. So outstanding 99 days, urgent, how many urgent days are outstanding? We just go here, settings, work tab, workload, outstanding, urgent days, 27.6. That back in bold. And I'm going to add blank. And so here I'm not doing it via the format cell because there is some user input here that I need to take into account. Obviously, if you want to take a shortcut, you can do the formatting. But here I want to make it for everyone here. So, oops, sorry, too quick. I'm just going to copy this because at least I will have a starting point. So not outstanding, I'm just going to take done. Here, I'm going to retrieve what has been done in days. Go back here. Work day done in days. Okay, so it's bringing me that back instead of the settings. Okay. All right. And we are almost done with this. So urgent. So here I'm just going to lock this in. Make sure it brings me back the D as well. I'm going to drag this here. And I'm going to retrieve instead of the G26. Completed, it will be the G20. Okay, completion date. So here I think I need to do the same. I need to merge and center. A little bit big. Okay. This is done. Okay, so now we can progress to charts. Now let's create the charts that I have selected. So I'm saying this because obviously, you know, the chart is something very personal. I suppose you might want to do something else with it. For you, the amount of days might be more important than the amount of tasks. I'm trying to bring a bit of a split of both, but feel obviously free to change the charts that you show. So the first one I want to show is the overall workload in days. So as I'll be just be selecting outstandings and completed, I'm just going to do an insert and I'm going to put a pie chart here. I'm not going to bother about bringing back the category name because everything will be color coded, so they should get the message just by looking at the colors. Now, the other one that I want to show is the urgent tasks not started, in progress, and completed. So I'm just going to do the same, insert this. Okay. So here I'm just going to put the title here so we don't get mixed up with the next one here, task urgent. Okay, so that's already 2. Workload in days. So I'm just going to put workload in days. And the third pie chart that I want is all tasks. So for this one, I'm going to bring that back, because I think once you showed it once, that's sufficient. You don't need to repeat it. And I'm going to click on this, and I'm going to insert here the all tasks. Yes, okay, all tasks. Okay, so here, once we've done that once, it should be okay. They would get the colors. We're obviously going to change those colors. What else? I want to do another one with the resourcing. What do I want to show? I want to show the total workload, but I want to show it split, into done and left to do. So I'll be doing it this way. I'll be selecting the column. Don't worry about the blanks. I want to be able to have the more resource. So I'm going to select everything, otherwise they'll follow the track. And I press the control button, and I also select those 2 here. This way that's going to show me the split, but I need to make sure that I select a proper chart. So it looks like this one is good. So the start column, but to do it properly, I'm just going to go back here, and here you have a selection of charts, and the clustered one is not the one that we want because I want to have them on top. So go to the stacked columns, and it gives you 2 charts, and you want to select this one. Okay, so now we have it all from that tab here. There's just another one that I want to bring, but be from the other one. So here I'm just going to select all of them, pressing the Control key. Now Control X to cut, and then paste it here. So okay. All right, so we just need to do a bit of tidy up now. So I'm just going to spend a little bit of time to do the tidy up now. First, I will be removing, I don't know if we can do it all at once. No, it doesn't let me do it. So I'm just going to be removing the shape fill, no fill. I want to remove this. I want to put that in maybe not white, this color here. So this is the theme that we'll be using. We'll be using a lot of this theme here. So instead of putting white, I'm just put the first one here, the dark red accent. Okay. So actually, now I want to start coloring this. Okay, so the dark red accent. So the first one I want to have it not started. So here we have the not started. So here I'm just going to put the color here as well. For this pale color here is completed. So I want to put it last. So here I just click on this, and I take the darkest one here, one of the very dark one here. Okay, go darker. This one will be the one in middle, which is in progress. So a bit something, I'll just select the one on top here. And the last one, I want a pale one because this is completed. So the pale is completed. So less focus. So we show it in pale value. I think it's a good principle. So now I'm just going to try something nuts. If I do the format painter on this, what is that going to change me? Not much. So I have some white here by default. If you don't have it, you might want to have it. Format, shape outline, and here you need to put some white. I'm also going to remove the shape outline overall of this, put no outline. So we have done one already. I'm tempted to duplicate this. So, but I'm not going to do it. Okay, let's do it again, just in case you missed the first part. No fill. Bring that back. I'm just going to do the formatting now. Okay, so now we're just going to add some data labels, not on all of them, but just maybe on the first one, so they get the message of what color means what. So here, let's put the number. I'm going to right click on the data labels, and I'm also going to show the category name here. So you might have to do a little bit of formatting for the first one, but after this should follow suit. Not started, and completed. So now it's clear for everyone that the darker colors are not started and the completed are the lightest one. I don't need to do it for the others, it's all very implicit. But for the tasks, I could still add the data label. So if you click on the data label, you can select where you want it. So here you right click format data labels. It's going to ask you, so you can check, best fit, outside, inside, and center. So I want it outside because it's all dark, and white on dark I think would be quite good. Here I'm going to do exactly the same. White, bold, and I'm going to put it on the outside. That's it. So removing the frame, shape outline, no outline. Okay. I'm going to do the same with this. Bring that back here. Give me a bit of room. Okay, shape fill, no fill. What else? We don't want this. So I need to make sure that I bring back the resource names, otherwise it's going to be not completely meaningless, but not far. So I just select on this between the two brackets here. I'm going back to my work tab and I'm selecting this. For some reason it didn't take it. Okay. So here I want to remove this from the top. I'm going to put that here. Okay, I'm going to remove the grids. I'm going to put the chart title in that color here, and here I'm going to put resourcing. So depending on how many resourcing you see, you might not want to keep that here, because if you have more resource, obviously this is going to mess things up. Or you could put a task box on the side, a text box on the side, sorry. Okay, so here I'm just select all these, and I'm putting this color here. Here I'm just going to leave it as well. I need more room for this. And I right click on the format data series, and I'm just bringing the gap width to 50%. And I'm going to remove this color here. So just want to make sure that the first one here, the dawn is the lightest color. And the left to do is a darker color. Oops, a bit too much. I'm going to put this one. Now, what I like to do on this is just to separate it, is just put an outline in white, and I'm just going to do the same here, otherwise it's going to be a bit strange looking. Okay. to remove the grid, no outline. Yes, so I think this one, that's it, that's better. Okay, so there's different font size and the likes. That's really the final formatting. So here I have my ugly box. So if we are consistent, outstanding should be this color. So here outstanding, it's this, the first one here. So here I'm just going to select everything and I'm going to take the first one here. And I'm going to give it a white border too. So white border, more borders, color white. And I'm going to click only on the outline here. I'm going to try and reproduce it, F4 here and F4 here. Here, while I'm here, I'm just going to take the color scheme that we have decided for what is done. The only thing is here I will need something stronger because otherwise it's not going to be very obvious. So I'm just going to take, which one do you think? This one. Could just change it later on. And now the completion, I think the completion we had it very... Okay, so I suppose here the outstanding... Yeah, okay, all right. So there's 3 different types of color. Outstanding, outstanding could be either not started or in progress. So I'm happy with this. And here I just bring this one color back. So it's a color of the not started, but that's okay. So completion 9th of June, critical resource John McDough. Okay, so while we're here, let's say I give Betty Boop more work, 100. So she should come up here, and the completion will be 25th of October. So that seems to be working. Okay, so I wanted to do a last chart here. So this is, I suppose, optional. I wanted to have an idea of the split of resources, but I'm not going to put the name of the task because that would be just too heavy. But I just wanted to see what it would look like. So that's going to give you a chart that looks like that. Now, you might want to skip it, and if you don't want it, obviously, I'm not going to force you, but there are 2 things I like about this. So the first thing is, let me just do the first thing is that that brings more colors a bit. I thought those 2 colors, fine, we get the message, well done, but this way that brings more color. But now, are you trying to tell me you're bringing this only because you want more colors? But let's say that it gives you an idea of the task split a bit. I think I like the way that, you know, when you have a lot of tasks, see if there is one that is really, really big without having to name them. So I think that gives you an idea. It looks like the workload is pretty good. I know there is a heavy task here, and you can easily pick it up here. So I just need to do some final alignment. Now I want to go back to the main thing, the thing that we've been waiting, and I suppose it's optional after if you want to put that also on the others, but I want to, on the other tabs, but I want to start formatting this. I'm going here, darker 25%, that's a darker 25%. Okay, and all this, I want to put it in a darker, something even darker than this, which is this one here. So that looks dark at this stage, but I will be putting some grids around this. Now, before we do all this, there's something I want to do. I want to click on one chart. I press Ctrl A. So that selects all the charts that we have. I'm going to right-click size and properties. I'm going to go on the properties and I'm going to say don't move or size with cells, because I'm going to start changing the size of some of those stuff. So okay, so those are long tasks. So this is it. So now I can, and the charts don't move when I do this. Okay, so what do I want to do? So here I want to put, okay, so first I want to put a grid on this one, and it might be a couple of attempts to get this done. But I want to go back to the main one here at the top, and I want to put a double grid here. But now I want to do a lighter border with this. So I just go here, more borders. Let's have a look. Not white, but I'm going to use this one, and I'm just going to do the outline and inside and see what it looks like. So that looks okay. Now, I cannot, so here I'm just going to do the same, the top. I'm just going to do the same with these borders, light, outline and inside. Okay. Ooh. Oh, that's too much. This is a little bit distracting, I think. Would that be okay? I don't even know. Yeah. I don't even know if that deserves so much attention. I mean, yes, in a way that it's a total. Remove this. Okay, so what I wanted to do now and is to put overall a bit of a light border. So just overall, just the outline. Okay, so now this is good. Before just remove all the names that I have here. Now what happens is, so you have 5 columns, so that's perfect. Format Painter, what happens if I do this? Woo! There's pros and cons, but I'm quite happy. I just have to do some very basic formatting now. So I just put this like this. All those I can center them happily. This one I need to bring it back to 9, and after C, bring it back to 9. Okay. Oh, that's better. Okay, is that left aligned? No, it needs to be left aligned. Okay. When everything's in place, we can still see if we want to change things. But something that I wanted to do. So unfortunately, when I did the format applied, it just didn't bring back the. It erased my format cell, so just going to have to go back here, format number and custom, and remove the hash. Okay, remove the hash, and here it should be a percentage. Oh, wow, okay, so that's better. That is better. Task split here. Now, if you don't like all these colors, you can go back here and go into chart design, change colors, and then you can select our favorite colors here. So that's a bit more subtle, I suppose. Actually, it's not too bad, is it? But we'll do the ultimate test when we try other page layouts themes. Now, to top it all up, before I go into the final formatting, I wanted to put something here. So I wanted to put, just select everything, bring it down. Oh, I'm doing a duplication here. What's going on? Looks like he thought I was duplicating it at some stage. I want to put a big text box here. Or I'm not going to bother with the text box. I'm just going to put a big cell here, a big fat cell. Same color as the headings, maybe. We'll see, we can try. I'm just going to put a border or not. No, the border might be too distracting, so I'm just going to put here a title. So here you can do the merging if you like. Merge, and a title would be project update or something along those lines. whatever you want. At this point in time, not willing to make it too complex. Project update. Okay, so this is a line, this is good, this needs to be a line on the left. This is pretty close, I think this is pretty close. Font 10.8, come on, really? Put 11 at least, 11. Oops. I need a bit of a bold here. And resourcing. Align everything. This goes here. This goes there. Now, if you know you have a fixed set of resources, obviously you can just narrow down how many you bring back from here. Just here I've got everything until 32, line 32. Now I wanted to retrieve an icon here. I'm not sure if it's available on every version of Excel, but you go and insert icon and then you look for people, for instance, or whatever. And you can bring back those people here. Bring back those people here. Graphic fill, I'm just going to take the same thing here. And I want to put a little bit of a graphic effect. So the shadow, you might want a shadow, but on the black, it's not really the best usually, to say the least. Now I want to put a reflection, just to show guys we are doing Excel, but we can still be very fancy. So I'm just going to crop it because this is too far for me, okay? Not that I'm fussy, but so in order to fix that, I need to really retrieve this and put it very close to the feet. And then I can crop it. Too close to the feet? I don't know. So let's try to align as many things as we can. So this resourcing here, obviously you can go wherever you like it to go. That's the advantage. If you don't have a lot of stuff, you put it here. And then, yes, I think, wow, is that a wrap? Well, now you could argue, Ben, you left us with this mess here. So, okay, let's try and format paint it then. Format paint as much as we can. Format paint. Is that better? Ben, it's not even better. yes, I suppose it is. It is a little bit better. A long one, just take all this format paint. Probably don't have enough, but that will do. Work tab. Same thing. Ooh, what have I done here? Okay, I'm going to double click and I'm just going to format all the headings. Like a pen job without getting too messy. All right. Yes, he has a ref here. That's because I messed up my resource. Okay, so that'd be good. Now the text, I'm going to double click this. Everything that is text can go here. Everything that is text. Is that going to work on this? Yes, this. Because if I put it here, it might mess things up. Or not that much, so that's okay. No, I'm just going to take 3. All this. Now I have zeros here, so it should be the zeros. So it's because by applying the formatting, I removed my format here, which is the hash. Okay. Now this is gone. Oops. Well, come on, I think this is pretty close, isn't it? Time to stop it. Format paint here. Okay, named. We know that has been named. I wonder how long this recording is going to be. Okay, so this is, but the result, look, the result is wonderful. Now, this, I don't want a white font. I want to have one of those fonts here. So we need to try and align as much as we can. So this is where I'll be spending a little bit of time. I just need to align everything as much as we can, and then put that here. That's it, align, align, align. So the reason why I wanted to, maybe I should have said that right from the get-go, is I wanted to make it clear for users where they need to input the data. So they need to input the data on that part of the screen, but I didn't want to add another color to make it obvious. So I just put that here. There is a clear separation. Now it's obvious. Okay, and let's just put that here, and here I'm going to leave a little bit of room so it doesn't look too cluttered, and then that's it. And then I just need to, okay, just check the last thing. That should be percentage pen. Okay, and centered. Put that in bold. That's not bold. Okay. All right, I hope you like it. That's a wrap for me. I'm just going to try and log off completely, so otherwise I'm going to keep making change to this. But I think the way it is now, it's quite okay.